this project, we met new people, saw new places, and experienced new things.
We also became aware of the dangers caused by the climate change, and we would participate again.
This is our city. It's called Rijeka, River, El Rio. There is a small river called Riječina that's running between the hills. 150,000 people live in this area. As we applied the research approach to the topic of climate change, we took a close look at our city and tried to spot the problems it faces. One part of the problem is the result of Rijeka being a very urban city with an important seaport and industrial heritage. Even if you just spend a couple of hours in Rijeka, you will notice the lack of parks and agricultural areas.
Some of the issues we noticed are clearly related to climate change. So, have you ever asked yourselves what would happen if the polar ice melted completely? Nowadays, when we go to the beach, we often notice that the sea levels are higher and there is no space for our towels.
Okay, the question I have for you is, are there any weather phenomena that have occurred that are not normal for the city?
So this year we had a long-lasting heat wave where temperatures reached 38.5 degrees in Rijeka, and in southern Croatia temperatures were well over 40 degrees. We also had a long period of drought, which was followed by heavy rainfall and flooding.
Fortunately, there are ways in which to run a successful business and preserve the nature and slow down the climate change. We visited several such businesses.
Mechanically purified water is discharged into the sea at a safe depth and distance, about 130 meters away from the shore at the depth of 40 meters. Vodovod and the city of Rijeka have started the investment cycle of the new phase, which will include biological and chemical treatment of wastewaters as well. While we don't spend a lot of thought about wastewaters on a daily basis, their purification and reuse do pose a serious problem in the European Union and the world.
A small NGO near Rijeka brought back to life the traditional way of wine production and growing vineyards. We spent an afternoon working there and enjoying the view.
The Immortelle farm on the island of Krk uses only natural, locally grown ingredients and traditional procedures to produce cosmetics.
These businesses have a strong support from local administration. The mayor of Rijeka received us in his office to promote this project. After learning and researching the political response towards global warming worldwide, we set up a mock climate change UN conference where we represented the views of different countries.
Što se tiče borbe protiv klimatskih promjena u povijesti Njemačke, ona je počela 90. godina prošlog stoljeća, kada smo zakonima povećali korištenje vjetroelektrana i subvencije istih, što je do današnjice, prema našim stručnjacima, dovelo do povećanja korištenja obnovljivih izvora energija na području vjetroelektrana za 42%.
Because our main focus was on education awareness, we try to promote sustainable practices in the city through different activities and workshops.
Next is my favorite activity of all, which was the visit to Učka, which is a mountain near our city. There we got to go into the visitor center and the museum of the natural park of Učka. And there we learned about all the species that live in the area. And we also got to go on a little hike.
It was very enjoyable and unique experience with amazing people, delicious food, beautiful places, and many learning opportunities. Definitely worth it.
I had a great time with the project. I learned a lot of things about the environment and climate change and all those things. I met a lot of new people. I'm very happy to have made some great friends. And it was overall a really amazing experience.
This project was a great adventure and I would definitely do it again.
Most importantly, we did a thorough research into 81 species from our surroundings and published 3 brochures that are available to general public. The key element of our work are suggestions for corrective actions that intend to improve the living conditions for the researched species. Through all the activities, actions, workshops and visits, as well as published media material, we intended to get to know the flora and fauna of our area. We tried to bring a lot of green to our community and to meet the animal kingdom.
Besides student mobilities to Spain and Ireland, which is on its own a valuable experience that should be available to every student, the evidence of their work and effort can still be seen at school. There is a hanging vertical garden on a wall with plants in plastic bottles. An olive tree for each country was planted in the park. A photo exhibition of plant and animal species is hanging in the staircase well. A huge box for plastic and paper waste is placed next to the staff room's door. Also in the backyard, one of the playgrounds is turned into a permanent human-sized board game of Ludo, čovječe ne ljuti se.
What I liked most was seeing the nature in Ireland and learning that there are people in all of these countries and schools that care about the environment as much as I do. I can say this project gave me lots of hope for future ecological endeavors.
It was great to be a part of the student exchange because it helped me with my fear, which is speaking English in front of people, and it was great to learn a lot about the things that happens every day, but we don't think about them.
I was in Spain 2 years ago and I met a lot of new people and I learned a lot about their culture and climate changes.
I will talk about an application called Plavo Oko, which translated means blue eye, and it is an application that you can upload a photo of an organism that you find in nature too, and there you can find more information about it, the name of it, and it's a really cool place to broaden our knowledge about the area we live in and other organisms besides us humans that live in it. Continuing with species discovery, we then talked about all the different species that live in our tidal zone in Rijeka and the surrounding region, which was really interesting because I saw some pictures and in real life some organisms that I didn't even know that lived in the Adriatic Sea.
2 very important lessons. The first one would be that you can never learn enough about the world around you, in this case, for instance, about the climate changes. And the second one would be that you can never know what great things you might experience if you just simply take the opportunities you're offered. So do take them.
It was a great project, and I really enjoyed actually being able to feel like I have some sort of voice in ecological problems. And going on the trip reinforced a lot of opinions I already had. I'd love to do it again, and I believe that everyone should probably do the same, or at least something similar, because it's very liberating.
8 billion. 8 billion people live on this planet. If we look back, people have always had the need to develop new technologies and to research Earth's resources in order to reach new scientific knowledge. That has always been the way of progress and economical prosperity. In the last few decades, we have been overdoing it by using too much resources, by building new roads, shopping centers, industrial areas, producing plastic, devastating forests and oceans. We have forgotten to keep the balance between making a profit and preserving the nature. Earth has become scarred by our activity, so now we can notice the consequences through global warming. The process of climate change is happening faster than ever in the history of the world. If you look around, you will see that nature is different and losing ability to fight. From big companies, decision makers, to individuals, everyone can help by changing their daily routine, just a little bit. So what can we do to preserve a better future for next generations? When you eat locally grown food, you stop the sea level rising. When you use renewable energy, you stop temperatures getting higher. When you sort waste, you preserve habitats for plants and animals. When you recycle and reuse materials, you stop frequent floods occur less often. When you use public transport, you save water resources. When you surround yourself with more plants, you slow down the increase of climate immigrants. When you educate others, like we did in this project, you raise awareness of the problem we are facing. Therefore, it's never too late to act and make positive impact. Sustainability is the way to do it. We are all part of the nature, and nature is part of us. If we all unite and act together, we can save this planet for the generations to come.
Morski čovjek as we go